Oh, okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's fine.
Yeah. So, requirement of support ad hoc and interactive data mining. DMA, data mining query language. SQL, we say data mining query language. Which integrate the data mining primitives to facilitate flexible knowledge discovery. Very important concept in data mining query language. Specify background knowledge. I told you, these students beware that concept hierarchy based on attribute relationship, that is hierarchy, generalization, specialization. These words are very important. And various thresholds, minimum support and confidence, etc. are very important factors in writing the data mining query language. Okay, fine. In that case, we'll go for first query. So it's a mantra. I said these primitives together should be there in the data mining query language. Data mining query language, task relevant data. So we have a query, how to write the data mining query language for task relevant data. You just read this for 1 second. What do you understand? What do you understand from this? Anyone? Anyone from the class? No? Am I audible? Students, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, let me explain that. See, this is what only for this task relevant data. Only to choose, only to write a query for task relevant data, you need to have these things. Syntax we are going to use for task relevant data. Data to be relevant to the study. Then you need to have these things. It's all optional. Either you can say use database Amoda. This is standard form of the syntax. It need to be there. Here you have to specify the name. Do you understand? Suppose I want to give the syntax for database. Forget data warehouse. Then I'll say use database student management system. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
MSc students very well know this. I need not explain. Use database student management system. From the relation student or from the relation faculty. You have to mention the relation from which table you want to use from this database. In relevance to any attribute specifically you want to give, you can give the attribute name also. Here you are using the database name. Here you are saying which table. Here you are just directly saying which attribute and what need to be done. Order, you have to order the list or grouping the list or having some condition. So, in a data mining query language, to write a syntax only for this primitive, you have all these options. You are getting my point? Yes or no? Hey, say something to me. salary, age, smoker, heart disease. These are all the table created already, which is there in the database. And from what do you want, which attribute you want? Patient financial, F. Here itself we are saying this is shortened by F. Patient medical, M. Where patient financial must be, can have a common medical, patient medical, this should be common. Only those people, those tuple which is in common, you have to select, and then you will have to look for the age greater than or equal to 18. First, this is the condition, then group by age. In the sense, the grouping should be done from in the order of age. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is the standard format. In this, these three are option, these three are only the condition. So, we are using the database, the relation is mentioned and attribute is mentioned, and you are selecting the condition from this one. We have to look for the tuple which is there in these tables, which have a common ID. Only when they have common ID, these two attributes, then you look for the age and group them by age. This is one example. Or else, student name. So, what is this? Table is student with all the attributes. Course is this one. Grading is this one. So, from this, you can write the query for selection of task relevant data. Okay. So, we have finished only for task relevant data. Please, students, if you understand one thing properly, then I can go for the next. Now, we have seen task relevant data. This is standard format for task relevant data. Syntax to be added in the data mining query language. First line. For example, I told you, explained how we are going to do that. Second, the kind of knowledge to be mined. For that, what is the standard form? This is the standard form. Syntax for specifying the kind of knowledge to be mined. So, what is the standard format? This is the standard syntax. Mine knowledge specification should be there. Then you have to say data mining functionality to be performed. Now you will understand what is the importance of knowing the word data mining functionality. We all know that data mining functionality can be characterization, discrimination, classification, whatever you want to say. So, instead of this, what I'm using? Characterization. So, for characterization is the data mining function for which I need to write the syntax mine knowledge specification colon equal to, this is the complete syntax format, standard form, and then for characterization you have to write mine characteristics. Mine characteristics. This is standard format for characterization. As pattern name and analyze the measure. So, with an example, analyze the class for characterization specifies aggregate measures such as count, sum, and counter. In the sense, in this measure place, you have to replace count, sum, count percentage, any option. Analyze as a pattern name you have to give. Let us see the example. For this syntax, let us see the example. Mine characteristics. Only this part I am talking about. Mine characteristics. What is the pattern name? You have to give the pattern name as customer purchase. So, you whatever they mine, it will be given in the name of customer purchase. Analyze count percentage. How many people are there with these characteristics? Analyze count percentage. Percentage of the count will be given. So, understood? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't understand, please stop me before I proceed further. These are all carried for the next slides. Shall I? If any other student, this is the general saying. This is the format of the mining of function or second mantra, the kind of knowledge to be mined. Knowledge is nothing but data mining functionality. Here the data mining functionality is characterization. So what is the standard form of characterization? Mine characteristics. This as pattern name and analyze the measure. Pattern name you have to give because whatever the characteristic is mined, that should be given in the name of this one. And how it should be measured with the count percentage. 3 things can be there. You can choose anything. One. That's what. One example. Is it okay? Say yes or no. Why all are sleeping or what?
No, ma'am, we are.
You are checking me that I am sleeping or what? Anything like that? I am not sleeping. Since I'm talking, nobody respond. Okay, syntax specifying the kind of knowledge. At another example, you can see the query. Mining characteristics suits. The general characteristics of the graduate student. Please listen, student. The general characteristics of the graduate student in computing science in relevance to the attribute GP, birthplace and address for the students born in Canada. What is the query? Any one student, can you explain what is the query? What is the query? They are asking general characteristics of the graduate student. There will be undergraduate student, there will be a research scholar and graduate student. So they are mentioning, we want to know the general characteristics of the graduate student who are there in science, computing science. So what are all the attributes need to be selected to see the general characteristics of the graduate student who are doing computing science? What are all the attributes? GP, GPA and birthplace, address. More than enough to see the characteristics of these people. So where they are born, what is the address, what is the related to GPA. We want to see the general characteristics only with relevant to these 3 attributes of the students who are studying in computer science, that to graduate student, and give me the count percentage. That's what the query says. You can stop me here if you have any doubt. Shall I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then
Yes, ma'am.
the query written here. Find characteristic rule. First, this is the query. For that, we are going to write the query related to anything. Interchange. You are interchanging the order. That's all. Doesn't mean that the data mining query language will not work. First, we are taking the attributes. See, related to GPA, birthplace, address, and count from student. Student is the table name. Attributes are already given. There itself it's asked for the measure, count, start, percentage. All. Embassy students can understand very easily. These attributes are selected from the table. Student, where is the condition? Status equal to there should student should be graduate student and major should be computer science or computing science, whatever. And their birthplace should be Canada. This is what the complete query they are asking here. One more sentence sentence with a noise threshold 0.05. Let us not get into this. With noise threshold, we are saying that to what extent you have to see the characteristics. So this is the condition. But I think whatever you have gone here, you are seeing this query pattern, standard form of query is implemented for this one. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Shall I go to the next one? So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
we are seeing, first one, what we are seeing, task relevant data, how the query need to be, how to incorporate this primitive in terms of data mining query language. We have seen with an example. Second, the kind of knowledge to be mined is nothing but the functionality to be mentioned with this primitive need to be incorporated with the function that is characteristics taken as the example as a characteristics, and we have written the query for an example. Next, we go for concept hierarchy specification, how to incorporate this particular primitive in the data mining query language. Yeah, here we have seen for characteristics. One more example is given for discrimination. Knowledge, for knowledge. So what is the second query? Second example. Mine knowledge specification. Instead of characterization, we are going to see for comparison. This is the standard form of knowledge specification. Mine comparison as pattern name. We have already seen. So we need two things to compare. Target class and what is the condition. Contract class, that's all. So what is the contract condition and analyze measure. So these are the standard form. I repeat, we have seen previously my characterization. To tell the characteristics of a student, we need not have two classes. A and B should be there to compare. That's why we say target class and contract class. So this class, this particular table should be compared with this particular table. So if you take the knowledge or function to compare, then the syntax is written mind comparison and give the result in the name of pattern name for the target class with a condition versus contract class with a contract condition and the measure, count percentage, sum, whatever you can say. So how is given? Mind comparison. The pattern name is purchase group for target class big spender with the condition, target condition is average price is greater than or equal to 1,000. So what does it mean? You have to take the big spender who are all spending more, but the condition is greater than or equal to 1,000. Average price equal to greater than or equal to 1,000. They are getting it versus budget spender where the average price is less than 1,000. So those who are buying for less than 1,000 should be compared with the higher spender with the greater, those who are buying more than 1,000 rupees, and give this result in the terms of purchase groups. Here analyze measure is not given. We can skip something. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Get another example. Query is straight away given. Find the discriminate features to compare the graduate student versus undergraduate students in the same computer science in relevant to GPA, birthplace, and address. From Canada. Listen, students. Same question. What is the difference between the previous question and this question? Tell me.
Graduate versus undergraduate, ma'am.
Huh?
Graduate versus undergraduate.
Same thing we are going to take. Same attribute we are going to take. Born in Canada we are going to take. But we are taking two classes. That is, one is target class. Another one is
Contrast class.
contrast class. Okay, because the question is, the query is discriminate the difference between these two classes. Classes are nothing but two objects. That's all. Shall I? So find discriminate rule for CES grad. This is given by you. CES graduates with the status graduate. We are mentioning that these are wherever it is graduate, you pick up the students, in contrast to the CES undergraduate with the status undergraduate. So in your table, there are things given graduate and undergraduate. I need to have only graduate, undergraduate related to these three attributes. The measure is in the terms of count, how many people are there from the student table. Condition is that major equal to computer science and if they should born in Canada. The condition, two condition, the graduate student or the undergraduate student both should belong to computer science, born in Canada, and I need only three attributes: GPA, birthplace, and address need to be compared, and how many count are there, and give it in the CES graduates. Contrast to CES undergraduate. Any doubt? I'm just giving an example how to write a query for the second primitive. The kind of knowledge to be mined. First we are seeing for characterization, next we are seeing for discrimination. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, yet another example, kind of knowledge to be made, association. Association, how to write the query? Mind knowledge specification is the standard form for knowledge. So in that case, if you go for the function, the knowledge to be mined is association. How to write it? So mind association, the syntax is mind association as pattern name. Whatever association is, you have to give in pattern name, matching meta pattern. What does that mean? I'll explain you with an example. Mind association is a buying habit. So the pattern name I'm giving is buying habits. So buying habits of what associated? Matching P, the customer. Variable X is the variable. Customer who purchases something W, software or computer, with Q, X, Y, which purchases computer as well as the software. Students, you may not understand what is this, because this is the, what I say, this is the association rule. How to write the association rule when two things are associated. So this is the syntax, just I'll explain you. When I explain association, you will come to know what is this. Okay? Let us see the example. Query is to find the strong association relationship for those students majoring in computer science and born in Canada, where the same attributes are given. What does it mean? They are asking, find the strong association relationship for those students majoring in computer science born in Canada in relevance with these attributes. So, how to write the query? find association rules related to these attributes from the table student, where major is CS and birthplace is Canada. You can see it is changed. The lines are changed. That's all. Nothing more than that. With the support threshold value 0.05, with the confidence threshold value 0.7. Yeah. I think you may not understand what is this. Okay, let me explain what is support and confidence. Then you will come to know. So what they are asking, just see the association rules produced for the students of post-graduation in the computer science who born in India with respect to the attribute, GPA, birthplace and others. Here, same thing are repeated. You can understand till here. But support and confidence, what is that support and confidence? So let me explain what is that. Support is nothing but, suppose, just leave this example for a minute. I'll give another example. Support is nothing but the whole transaction in a day. How many times the transaction? 100 transactions are there. 100 people have come to the shop and did the transaction. The whole transaction, if you take that, you will see to that the computer is purchased with the anti software along with other items also. So suppose the transaction 1, Amuda is going and buying anti software, computer, and then some printer, and then some bread, and then some tools, some other things also. Okay, like that, computer and software is purchased along with all other objects. So, in total transaction 100, if you happen to see, 5% of the transaction are done along with the computer and the anti-software. Our attributes are computer and anti-software. This is support value. The whole transaction, 100 transaction, 5% of the transaction along with other items, there is a purchase with the computer and the anti-software is also purchased. If you say confidence, the transactions are 70% of the transactions are done whenever the computer is bought. The anti-software is also bought. In that sense, confidently you can say computers, the 70% of computers are bought with the antivirus. The people who bought the computers compulsorily bought the antivirus. That's what it says, confidence threshold. So, this is what these two measures, interestingness. These two measure of interestingness involved in association. If you see these two, there is some little calculation to do the association, to see the association between two items. You are getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Any confusion? If not, next we go to the classic. Just we are seeing what is the syntax for me to write the knowledge to be mine. First function we are seeing characterization. Second function we are seeing discrimination. Third one we are seeing association. We are going for classification. Fourth one is classification. You classify the item and give it in this pattern name and analyze the classifying attribute. If you use data warehouse, it is dimension. That's all. If you use database, this is the attribute. If you use data warehouse instead of data mining, you have to use dimension. That's all. This is the standard format. Example, to mine patterns, classifying customer credit rating, where credit rating is determined by the attribute with credit information. What does it mean? To mind the pattern, classifying the customers. The complete customer list is taken and you classify them according to credit rating, where credit rating is determined by the attribute credit information. What does it mean? Credit information attribute is there. Take that attribute, mind the details of the customer. According to the credit information, we can rate the customer whether they are defaulter, whether they are proper, and loan can be given next. That is the motto. So, mind classification as classified customer credit rating is the pattern name. Analyze by the credit information. Attribute to be chosen is credit. Any doubt? I think you are not understanding that, so you are all keeping quiet. Otherwise, you will throw questions. Probably you may not understand because we have not gone through the classification and association. Am I right? Or you understand? Tell me frankly. Why?
I'm,
Tell me.
I'm like with while doing practical or something, then it might be misplaced.
I understand. I could make it. See, listen. Even then, I'll just first tell the syntax for everything. Then, when we go for classification association, you will be in a position to do it. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Classification for the query. Next, yet another example as you see. Classify the students according to their GPAs. Okay, you just don't see this grade of any query. Let me say GPA according to the GPA. Those who have got up to this range, classify them as first class, second class, third class. That's all classification. But which student you want to choose for this classification? Computer science students. Which country you want to take? Canada. This is the condition, nothing more than that. All attributes need to be whatever given in the student table, all attributes need to be taken. No, attributes, birthplace, address is taken and classify the students, only those born in India, only from the computer science, according to the GPA, you classify the students. For that, we are writing the query, classification for CS students, pattern name, you are giving this one, according to GPA, related to birthplace address from the table student, where major CS and birthplaces can. These are all the query, how to make a query to the mining. That's what I'm explaining. Prediction. Okay, prediction. Let me stop in prediction so that I will come back to you. So, specifying the syntax for prediction, same thing, the standard form is mine. Hey, it will be very easy for you if you start writing your data mining query language, because first time I'm taking this, you will not be in a position to get it immediately. But when you write your assignment, 100% you will be in a position to write the query after taking the classification association. So, until then you wait. Let me first tell you what is the query. Mine prediction, because the function is prediction. As pattern name, this has to be given by you. Okay, I say the function is prediction and the pattern name chosen by me, and analyze the prediction attribute. Which attribute you want to analyze, and set attribute value. What is predicted? That value should be given. So let us take an example you come to know. Mine prediction as predicted item price, pattern name. Analyze the price. Which one to be analyzed? Which attribute you need to take? Analyze a price. So in the table, there is an attribute price. You take the price and analyze and give it as the result in predicted item price. Which one, which price of which item category? Set category. Set attribute or dimension. Set category equal to TV and brand Sony. What does it mean? What is the price of the TV? What is the price of the Sony? Predict the value according to the price and give it in value. That's what this syntax. How to write the syntax for prediction of two items set, TV and Sony, in terms of price. This particular prediction is always useful only for mining the missing or the unknown continuous value from the past history. Okay? I think I need to explain this concept hierarchy. Then only you'll come to know what is this. Okay, we can go for it. But let me ask something. Tell me now, what do you understand? At least not the query. What do you understand from this data mining query? What I taught today, just tell me. Casually you talk to me. What is that? What we discussed today? If it is wrong also, don't worry. Please talk to me. I just wanted to know what you have understood, how far you are able to follow the discussion today. Ask me something about the data mining.
Ma'am, it is somewhat, means I feel it somewhat very similar to DBMS we had in last semester.
Again, same thing. I'm going to compare it both. We are going to see that.
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to see that. But other.
Yes, ma'am.
There straight away you write a query. One by one, this primitive has to be added. Finally, you will have the query like this. See here, this is the final data mining query language. Use database, use hierarchy, use the knowledge to be mined, and visualization and the interestingness measure. All put together, complete data mining query language with the task relevant data. This is concept hierarchy. This is visualization. Everything you can see. One second. I'll show you. Task relevant data. Knowledge is the function. Concept hierarchy. Streeta, country, or worldwide you want to see the mining. So these three. Interesting measures, support or confident or count or measure, then visualization. All 5 things are included here. After discussing all the query, how to write, we are making the final query. You will see that task relevant data is database. What hierarchy, location hierarchy, address alone enough. And mine characteristics is the function, knowledge to be mined. What are the data attributes? What are the attributes to be compared? And what is the interesting measure? And how do we display? All 5 primitives are incorporated in this query. But we need to know how to incorporate the data mining syntax for every primitive. That's what I'm trying to say. Getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm explaining. So this concept hierarchy will stop it here so that if you want me to take, I can take. If you don't understand what is the point in taking the class. Or I'll explain, then I'll come to concept hierarchy. Next class will take. You will just listen what I'm saying. Syntax for concept hierarchy. You can see use hierarchy is the standard. What hierarchy is street or country or world? And what attribute need to be taken? That's what repeatedly I'm saying, multiple level of abstraction. You need to specify multiple level of abstraction. In order to accommodate the different point of view of user on data, there may be one more hierarchy for one attribute. Let us see. Definition for schema hierarchy. To mention hierarchy, concept hierarchy, that comes under the primitive here. That's come from the concept hierarchy specification or background knowledge. This primitive has to be included in data mining query language. For that, we are looking at background knowledge or concept hierarchy. For that, how to write the syntax? Define hierarchy, that is location hierarchy. It's not only location hierarchy, not the country, only location hierarchy. Till then, you mind it, that is enough. On which attribute? Address alone is taken. So, street, city, state, country. This is the general form. Okay. So, we need to mention how far, whether you stop it in the street or city or state or country. This hierarchy we have to. But what attribute you have to select? Location. Okay. Or else, if you want to say something in the month, year or day, the define hierarchy, time hierarchy alone on day, month, year. All three attributes, which one you want to select, you can select. Which one you want to select? You can define, you can say define hierarchy, time hierarchy on day. That's all. You can put. Only day wise I want to mind. Or leave a day. Month wise I want to mind. No, year wise I want to mind. So you have to restrict yourself. That concept I like. Age wise you want to say? You don't say that 20 to 40 age. You group it as, you give the name. Set of grouping hierarchy for age. You group it. 20 to 39 you say that it is young. 40 to 59 you can say that it is middle age. 60 to 60. So you can group it like that. So I want to see the general characteristic of the people who are working in the bioinformatics center with the hierarchy only with the age of middle age 40 to 59. Restrict the age as middle age. If you say middle age, it automatically takes 59. So you have to specify the hierarchy. This is not required. I don't want to tell you because this is derived hierarchy in the sense you may not given the age, but you want to get the age from the date of birth given. So that is little more thing. You may not have it. At least you know how to make the concept hierarchy. Okay, fine. You can see one more example. See definition of rule-based hierarchy. Okay. Okay, you just know this one. Thing, age, and day, and state, address. If you can restrict the concept hierarchy, here you can go for interestingness measure. That's what I told you. The interesting measure is threshold value, support threshold is 500, confidence threshold is 0.7. Now we have gone to the fourth primitive. And fifth primitive is display as a result form or tabular form or whatever, the bar chart or whatever the form you want. So what is the syntax need to use? Display as result form. Instead of result form, you should use the particular. Either it's a table or two. So now we have seen. Now you have seen for syntax presentation and visualization, here interestingness measure, and for the functions, and we have seen task relevant data, concept hierarchy. So all put together, finally, you can see that task relevant data, here concept hierarchy, knowledge to be mined, and then interestingness pattern, measure of the interestingness pattern, and then how to visualize. All 5 primitives are added in this data mining query. Just to give you the glance how the data mining query language syntax has to be incorporated. That's all. Where these 5 primitives, we have seen the syntax, you may not understand in one class. If you start writing the query all put together, I showed you the complete data mining query. You don't know, madam, what you are taught. Something you are saying is very better. It's nothing but it's like SQL query. Select from where. There select, you will write something like that. Here standard syntax is there. You have to fit in. What attribute, what concept hierarchy, what knowledge to be mined, what are the data to be selected, which way it should be presented, and what is the interest you measure. All these things to be incorporated. Fine. One more class I will compare this with SQL. You will be in a position to understand. Is it okay? Just now today you know how the data mining query language looks like. You are going to write your assignment. You will 100% will come to know after taking classification and the association what I said today. Is it okay? Not okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's not okay. Something you told, madam, but not to that level. Am I right? Speak frankly. Yes, no? Ishita? I think all are sleeping. Anika?
Yes, ma'am.
What, no sound from your side? Huh?
Ma'am, the last part I was confused.
Which one? Complete data mining query language.
No, ma'am. Till the concept hierarchy parts, ma'am. I have to study, ma'am.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. So we'll suspend this data mining query language here, and now we'll switch on to the concept hierarchy and then classification and association, so that you will come to know everything. Then we'll come back to the query. You will be in a position next. Is it okay for you? Actually, I'll never do that because it is in the online class. I'm not able to write it on the table. I will do it for you once it's done. Is it okay? Until then, you need not write the assignment. You understand the concept and then write the assignment. Students, is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to understand. Don't worry. I'll compare this with SQL so that you'll be in a position to understand. Okay, then we'll meet tomorrow if possible, 11:30. I should tell you that still admission confusion is there something. We are working on it. I requested HOD today for the class. Tomorrow, I do not know. If 11:30, whatever it is, you join, I'll tell you. If any chance, I'll take the class one. Okay? We'll go for concept hierarchy. Is it okay? So that once I complete the concept hierarchy, next week, if I am not there, I don't know which week I am going to take off. That week, if I'm not there, practical class can be started. Is it okay?
Yes,
Once the practical is started, much you will understand, as Athar said. Okay? Simultaneously, I will also discuss the classification association and concept. Okay, fine. Tomorrow, 11:30, I think we will meet. Fine. Shall I sign off?